I need to set some goals. I'd like to ground myself a little better for a better lifestyle. So we're here to learn.
There's probably somewhere in your life that whatever you want isn't happening, right? I mean, is there anybody that has perfect everything? I'm sure there's someone who thinks they do, but there's probably somewhere in your life. And I won't keep this diagram up for long. It's just a simple one, and that is, you know, we have our family, and we have our other relationships, and we have our professions, right? And we have different parts of our life. We have our health. So all these areas of life, and many, many more areas. Some people, their goal setting is great professionally. Other people, it's great in health. Other people don't have any of them, right? And some have just one or two. So it doesn't really matter where we're at on this path. This class is to help you understand how to get what you want in a positive way, in a calm way, in a productive way. Because oftentimes, some people go after goals and they are forcing it. It's just a major effort. Or if they go after it in a major way, they feel great failures, a lot of emotion, a lot of frustration. And it doesn't really have to be that way. It actually can be a lot easier. Now, of course, when I say that, a lot easier, of course there will be some resistance and some obstacles to overcome. But if you do it in what we're talking about today, it can be a lot easier than it has been in the past. And so, I did this diagram quickly because we're not going to stay here long. But let me just pause for a minute. Maybe in your notes, you might, I think this would be good. In your notes, take a moment and just list some of the areas of your life. That could be health, relationships, that could be school, that could be fun. Okay, it could be what else? Is there anything else besides fun, school, relationships, profession? I'm sure there's something else, but that's okay. One of the behaviors and goal types is what she first mentioned is kind of the bucket type. Okay, I fill into the bucket all that I have to do. And by the end of the day, maybe the bucket is empty, maybe not. Maybe I just spilled it everywhere and it kind of got done and it kind of didn't. And the next day, I pick up the bucket, there's a whole bunch of stuff to do. Now, how many do bucket goals setting and actions? Pretty much everybody. I mean, really, most everybody does that. It's like Saturday, whatever, your day off. All the things you have to do. And it's okay not to sit down and just jot things and organize them and just go out. But obviously, bucket goal type of work does what? What happens in that kind of behavior?
Kind of hit or miss.
It's a hit or miss. What else?
The noisiest thing in the bucket gets the attention.
The noisiest thing, the loudest thing, the biggest thing. And notice he said noise.
Yeah.
What?
And you're doing one thing and then something gets your attention, so then you're over here, and then you go,
Right.
oh, wait a minute, I get it in, so then you're over here, and then,
Yeah. And so
yes.
then that becomes the spaghetti time. Okay? And the spaghetti type's fun. I mean, there's something happening, right? Same with the bucket, but it can become confusing, get a lot of interruptions, and it's not very productive. And I admit, I do the spaghetti thing too, and the bucket one also. Another one she mentioned is push-pull. Okay? Push-pull type of goal setting and action. What is that? What is that like? Push-pull.
Maybe somebody pushes you to get something done, or somebody pulls you away from something else.
Yeah, that's one type. So one is push-pull at external, this is a technical way of saying it, external influence, okay, involved. And we could probably think of a non-technical way of saying that, is what he just mentioned, is someone either pushes me to force me to do it, or I'm interrupted and I'm pulled away from it, okay? There's another push-pull, okay? And that's the internal influence,
Yeah.
okay?
Half and half.
Okay, and then that one is mentioned could be a civil war, meaning a conflict. I really want to do this. No, I don't really want to do that. And why would I be in internal conflict about wanting and not wanting to do something I want? I mean, I made a goal. Why don't I just go for it and just do it? Issues, yeah. Lots of issues could do that, right? And we could spend days on that, couldn't we?
Oh, self-sabotage, huh?
Self-sabotage is that one. So push-pull, and there's self-sabotage and all of that. But self-sabotage can do that. So that includes the fears, right? The frustrations, the blame, the overwhelm. Anything that is a belief can go into that category of internal influence. Most of the time, though, if you really look at it, the external one can't exist unless I have an internal one. Okay? If my internal world is at peace with itself about that goal, and then I have someone come along and push, what might happen? If my internal world's fine, what might happen?
Either let it influence you, or you just
Either it
ignore
won't
it.
influence you, one, right? Or
It'll help you accomplish your internal.
it'll actually help me more in just a moment. Let's see if there's anything else we can add to the kind of behavioral types when we set goals that kind of show up instead of really clear goal tasking, we do unclear or confused. Anything else?
Gives you something to do.
Busy. That's actually a very common one, actually. I gotta do something, might as well do that.
Well, I think of like New Year's resolutions, those ones you keep going over and over and you last for a while and then you peter out.
Paul too. So, anyway, so you just go and go, and the busy and the bucket are similar, aren't they? Okay? The bucket one, you do have a bunch of stuff. This is you just keep busy. Right? Another one came to mind and just left. I'm sure it'll come in just. It's easier to see why we should do something. That's why the kid says, when mom says, "Will you please take out the trash?" Why? Right? So if the mom takes the trash and puts it in the lap of the child, then that's a good why. Maybe, for some. Right? So, why should we do it? Based upon that. Or you can do it otherwise. You answered a why a little bit earlier. But,
So we don't waste our time.
okay? Why? Waste. Not. Okay? Okay, waste not time, money, and energy. I want you to take the energy one first. And I want you to tell me, in your thoughts, each one of those, which one of those seems to be the one that uses and wastes most of the energy?